on earth have we been paying millions of pounds every single day, clogging up hotels, etc., for fully grown men who've just come here, essentially, from a country that they could have just visited on holiday? The report found that nearly 46,000 people crossed the Channel in small boats last year. More than a quarter of those, so around 12,000, were Albanian, though other reports have estimated that figure to be as high as 15,000. Hard to tell, given the fact that they're not always honest about where they've come from, and they don't tend to stick around that long once they get here either. But 10,000 of those who came from Albania last year were single adult men. Lee Anderson was on earlier. He said, we wouldn't want people who leave the women and children behind anyway in a time of strife, would we? But it means that the number of Albanians coming to the UK on small boats went up from 800 in 2021 to more than 12,000 last year. So those are the ones we know about. Those are the ones in this country that we know about. In conclusion, the report says that Albania is a safe country and there is little evidence that Albanians need asylum in the UK, though it does find that many women could be victims of trafficking. Joining me now is Jeremy Hutton from Migration Watch UK. Jeremy, a report that's taken a couple of years that demonstrates exactly what we all already knew and makes me even more angry about the tens of millions of pounds of taxpayers' money that has gone towards supporting people who, if they wanted to see Britain, should have just come here on holiday.
Good afternoon, Patrick. Thanks for having me on, first of all. Yes, I share your frustration. It's quite incredible, really, that it's taken this long for the Home Affairs Committee to report what we all knew at the time. This was what everyone understood was the case back in, November, August, etc. last year. We all knew Albania wasn't some hellhole. It wasn't a war-torn place that people needed to flee from, fear of the safety of their lives. We already knew that Albanians were massively overrepresented in the UK prison system. So it's quite inexplicable that it took them this long to get through this report, go on a little trip out to Albania and just tell us what was so obvious.
But surely, Jeremy, now, we've got this massive backlog, OK, this asylum seeker backlog that we need to get through in order to clear these hotels and to get deportation flights taking off. If anyone has Albania as their nationality on it now, pretty much, they should presumably just be deported.
Yes, there doesn't really seem to be any excuse for them to go through the whole process. There is some form of fast track that the government are doing to get them through it quicker. But there is more they could do to actually get them through this, and they could just declare all claims from Albania inadmissible, maybe keeping up some route for trafficked women, for example. However, it's just completely baffling that so many people have been stuck in the asylum system, and all this encourages if there's more of them to come to the UK, knowing that they'll be able to stay in the UK for 1 to 2 years whilst their claim is done, and make a bit of money on the side anyway.
Well, absolutely. They can abscond, they could find the way of having children, they can do whatever. I mean, that report that came out that everyone was very happy to, batter the government with, going, you're losing children from these asylum seeker hotels. Excuse me. I don't see many children, walking around with full beards and looking about the age of 40, to be honest with you. I think those tend to be more of the people that are going missing and just disappearing into the underworld at the moment. But surely, Jeremy, Rishi Sunak now, this is all the proof that he needs. He can go, my voters, the taxpayers, are paying £6 million a day minimum. I've got 2 more barges on the way. I've got a report that says Albania is a safe country. If you're from Albania and you've come here illegally, I'm sorry, but you're getting deported. I mean, he's got all the excuses he needs to be able to say that, hasn't he?
Absolutely. I don't think anyone needs any more proof, and I don't think anyone ever really did. I mean, it's good to have the committee saying this and putting it in writing so we can all, basically, that we're all vindicated from several months ago.
Yeah.
But he needs no more proof. And the concerning thing is the committee does end its report saying, oh, well, maybe you should create more visas so they can come legally instead. And I don't think that's really what people want. They see this as a problem. They want to stop that problem, not let more of them in on legal routes.
Well, as the Albanian ambassador who was grilled by Lee Anderson basically had to front up to, which is that if you could come here legally through an existing visa scheme, which you have to meet certain economic requirements, then you would be doing it, really. And the reason that a lot of them are spending tens of thousands of pounds or thousands of pounds in order to come across the channel illegally is, I suspect, very often so that we don't know exactly who they are or maybe what their criminal record